Turned to a case yesterday in Cork. Ava Toomey, she's 6 years old. She suffers from a condition that leads to several violent epileptic seizures a week. It's a condition that could be treated with a cannabis-based drug, but one that's simply not available here. I've been to speak with Ava's mum, Vera, in their home in Ahabulloch in County Cork, lovely part of the Cork countryside. Now, on Monday night, the night before I visited, Ava had had a number of seizures, and I asked Vera to describe that terrifying experience.
Well, when Ava has a seizure, you don't exactly know how long it's going to last. It could last 2 minutes. It could last much longer. It could last 2 hours. She could go into something extremely serious. We were diagnosed with this syndrome when she was 4 months old. We have staggered from one medication to the next since her diagnosis.
You eventually found out that it had a name. What was that name and how rare was it?
It's Dravet syndrome, and it's DRAVETS syndrome. It's so rare. There's probably only between 60 and 80,000 people are diagnosed with it. It's that rare. It's a change in a gene. That's the problem.
Tell me about the drug that is available that you can't get your hands on.
There was a trial done over in England which we missed out on last year. There was about 25 kids were offered a place on the trial for a drug. It's Epilepsy.
And what's particular to this drug is that it uses a cannabis derivative. Is that right?
That's exactly right. And we're just begging for the trial to be brought over to Ireland. The dream would be that we would have CBD oil legalised in the country so that Ava could access it.
Now, there's no parent listening to this who would voluntarily give their children cannabis.
Certainly not.
But there are many children out there who are prescribed drugs that parents wouldn't want them to take, but there's a reason medically for them to take it. Do you believe that that falls into this category that, it's lumped in with cannabis, but in reality it's just a type of drug that will treat Ava's symptom?
Well, what I believe is that there's a significant difference between cannabis and CBD oil, and that's the main point that I think people need to realise. And the medicinal marijuana is completely different from the cannabis that is smoked. I mean, firstly, CBD oil contains no THC, and THC is
that's the hallucinogenic effect.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the hallucinogenic part of cannabis. That is either completely or almost, there'd only be trace values of that left in the plants that produce CBD oil. Nearly over 90% would be CBD oil, which is the derivative that helps people to stop the seizures.
And have we become hung up, do you think, on the idea of cannabis being bad, therefore it has to be all banned, and we're not focusing on the potential benefits of this type of drug?
I'd urge people to not tune out the minute that they hear the word cannabis, because it is working.
The bottom line is this is not necessarily going to get rid of the condition that is causing these symptoms. There's no cure, but no. What will it do?
Well, what it will do, what it has done I can't guarantee what it will do for Ava, but what I do know is that there are children over in America, in states in America. For example, Colorado is one of the states where medicinal marijuana is legalised. There are children over there that had 300 seizures a day, reduced to a month after beginning cannabis oil treatment.
And what difference would that make to Ava's life, to your life, if you managed to get that result?
But it would give her a life. That's the thing. I mean, at the moment, epilepsy is controlling Ava's life. Absolutely holding her back from school. She can't have too much excitement. If she too much running around and too much carry on like that, that could bring on a seizure. Too much, if her temperature goes high, that could cause a seizure. Going into a bath to get her bath, that could cause a seizure. Just the water could give her a shock, or that being too cold. Anything and everything triggers seizures for her.
We're here in a beautiful part of the Cork countryside. You're on a lovely farm near the village of Athbulloch, just around the corner from us here. You'd be willing to give all that up if you had to go to Colorado, would you?
We would. But, I mean, I love my home here. This is where I'm from. This is Athbulloch is where I'm from. Athbulloch is where Ava's from.
Well, what do you say to those who are responsible, for the people who are responsible for licensing drugs or indeed allowing tests to go ahead, or I suppose the Minister for Health or those in the Department of Health, to the people who have the influence here, to the people who could make the change? What is your direct appeal as Ava's ma'am?
I would ask them to think about maybe their own children at 6 years of age, and at that age how much you're looking forward to their future and what they're going to achieve and how much fun and enjoyment they're going to have going to school and making friends and doing sport and having a great life and a great future. This is a very simple thing to allow a child to have a future and to have it here in Ireland, to not break up a family and leave this country. I mean, either we'd all have to go, or I'd have to pick her up and leave myself with her and break her father's heart and break her brother and sister's heart with wondering, where is she gone? Why isn't she here? And all of this, it's just, she should have a chance to have it here.
Vera Toomey speaking to me about Ava's condition at their home yesterday. We thank them for letting us in. There's a Facebook page. I'm going to tweet a link to it later on, where Vera is campaigning for that type of cannabinoid drug to become more available here to help the likes of her daughter. I'll tweet that later on. But still to come on News Talk Lunch.